Hello, it's Rich Rosen, founder and CEO of Fastcall, and I'm going to talk for a few minutes about our call logging, which is a detailed area of our application. So I'll cover as much as I can in a few minutes. So essentially, call logging is the base of our application. We often like to say that any phone can dial a call. Really, what Fastcall is doing is the logging and managing of that process inside Salesforce. So really, without our call logging, the application benefits are fairly minimal. So that said, I'm looking at Salesforce Classic. The application does, of course, work in console or Lightning. I'll just do this demo in Classic for good old time's sake. I am going to do the demo using our call logger. Our call logger will log the calls, as I'm going to show, does not dial. It's good for situations like this where we just want to do some testing or do a demo. You'll also use the call logger, for example, if you were making a conference call and you were dialing with some other application, maybe dialing into a GoToMeeting, but you still wanted to log the call. So that's the call logger we'll do. So to start, I will click on a phone number. The application says we're logging the call. We're not actually dialing, so this is actually not going to turn green or orange. But we'll start capturing the call duration. This is our call subject. These are our notes. And this call subject, I'll show you in a few minutes, can be customized with a default. So we'll say here, subject, notes. Okay, so we give you a couple of different options. So I end the call. That stops the timer. If I was actually dialing, it's going to end the call. But the task is not closed, and I'll show you in a few seconds how we sort of set all that up. But here we have the opportunity to continue typing more notes. And then I close the task, which does as it says, it closes the task. Now in this particular case, I am requiring a call result in order to close the task. So I can say here, I spoke to the decision maker. So now I'm finished. So let me go into our settings and show you how all of that is set up. So I'm under Fastcall settings in the application, chosen in the Salesforce application menu. Um, and The settings I'm going to show you today are most likely limited to, so fast call is available in the Salesforce application menu. So the settings that I'm showing you now are mostly going to be available as a Salesforce admin. So these are all admin settings. These are not going to be end user settings. I don't think, no. So we'll start with call logging, which is where we're going to start. So the first thing in call logging is call results. So under call results, you're going to notice, and this is really the crux of our applications, there's a lot that happens here in call results. First off, we have call results for inbound calls and outbound calls. We are going at some point to start to give you the ability to group call results by object, which you can do now in our application with a little bit of a workaround, but also group call results by groups. So you may have one team that needs one set of call results, another team that has another set of call results. That's coming soon. This is our 4.1 version of the application. It's July 2017. Okay, so first off, all our call results are listed here. You can change the order. You can delete them. Pretty straightforward. Our call results are tied to our call score, which I'll get to in a couple of minutes. But let me just say now that you have the ability to set the call result to stop a call count if you're counting your calls. So if your goal is 5 calls in 5 weeks, you can say that you've met your goal and you can stop that call count. You also have the ability to update automatically your call score status here, but I will show you that if I click in on the specific call result, you also have the ability to use call result to update any field on any Salesforce record. So I can come in here again, am I going to stop call count? My updating call score status. But let's say you want to update something else. I can come in here, I can type in opportunity, and we're going to search your org for fields on opportunities. So you can say stage prospecting, and maybe that's what you want, right? So now this call result is automatically going to update the field on opportunity. Awesome. right? And I do believe, yes, you can add more, so it's not limited to just one. So that is awesome. Now, the limitation here is the this particular call result is only going to now be available when you are calling an opportunity. So what we've done is we've tied together opportunity and the call result. So this call result uh, is going to be limited to when you are calling an opportunity. So you're not going to see this call result if you're not calling an opportunity. Now, the way around that is if you do need the call result to be available on multiple records, you would add multiple call results. So this could be upgrade opportunity. This could be upgrade account opportunity. And then you'd only see that on opportunity. If you wanted to also have this upgraded account on lead, you'd have to add that on lead as well. Okay, so subject. So subject's pretty straightforward. We give you the ability to set a default subject for outbound calls, inbound calls, ACD, and missed. We also give you the ability to prepend. Maybe this is append, I'm not sure. Um, Onto the subject. We've had subscribers who've said to us, "Hey, Rich, this is awesome. It's great. You know, we don't want to take notes. We really want to put all of this into the subject line." You can now put the contact name, date, time, the call result, date, time, or nothing at all, right into the subject line. So if you want to see more in the subject line or less in the subject line, we allow you to do that. Under tasks, another area where there's a lot going on, we have our general settings, fields, and status. First off, do you want to create tasks? You have the option to not create tasks and only use our custom object for calls. By and large, almost all of our subscribers do create tasks, but we do give you the ability to not create tasks. And there's one benefit for that. If you just want to see calls in their own custom object and not combined with all your other tasks, for example, email, you can have just calls in the custom object for calls. But if you are creating tasks, do you want to see tasks for completed calls? Do you want to see tasks for missed calls? Do you want to see tasks for voicemails? Pretty straightforward. Okay, fields. We will pick up any field in your org and give you the ability to add it into the widget. So for example, if I wanted to add call focus as a field in on the widget, we can add that. Any custom field, it does need to be any custom field or native field, you have the option to show here. If you do want to see specific follow-up calls on the widget, you can add that. So that would be call in 1 day, call in 2 days, call in 1 week. And this specific function will create an open task at that time increment. So call in 1 week will create an open task to call in 1 week. If you call from the open task, we will close it. If you call from a closed task, we will overwrite it. Okay, so that's all under call logging. Under widget settings, you're going to see some settings for your user interface. Call notes. Do you want to see the note box? Do you want to see your call subject? Salesforce comments field, what is often called notes, but are actually called comments, are long text, 14,000 characters, I think, something like that. Long text field cannot be seen in a related list for activity. So if I'm looking at activity history, this whole activity history is called the related list. So if you want to see your notes here, which we like to see, we give you the option to copy the comments field to our own custom field called notes, which is a short text field. Pretty simple, but most subscribers like to keep that on. But here's all those options here. If you really wanted a minimalist look, and you see, I don't see subject, I don't see notes, bang, 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 they're all gone. These are all upgrade features within the widget here that are available in the Sales Plus. There's a couple here that I will sort of talk about. Do you want to see the ability to look up an opportunity in the widget? Do you want to see the ability to look up cases in the widget? Opportunities are limited to contacts, not leads. Cases. Do you want to relate multiple contacts inside the widget? So I'm on a call and I'm going to add in maybe the other far side is in a conference room and there's 3 people on the call. I can add in multiple contacts to that call. This does need to be enabled in Salesforce, but we do support that. Voicemail drop, dial by list, SMS are all dialing functions. I'm not going to cover those here. Call termination, also important. You'll notice when I was logging the call, some of this was happening. Do you want to require call results to close the task? That's what was going on. when I was logging my call, and the answer was yes. Otherwise, do you want to show a separate call result field? I chose no. This would show the call result sort of twice, but you can play around with these settings to see which of those you prefer. Class task closing options, I also have off, but those options include the ability to go into a second level of editing so that you can, after the call, um, you can have the ability to go into task edit mode, or choose to not create the task, which actually creates the task and then deletes it, or don't close the task, which will keep the task open. So after the call, by default, we will close the task, but if you wanted to go in after the call, um, and you want to say, don't close this task, don't create this task, or take me to task edit mode, those are all options that you have after the call. As a matter of fact, I'll show that to you real fast. So here I am, and then I'll wrap up. So I'm logging the call. Oh, didn't work. There you go. Let me just do this real fast. I think I'm going to have to refresh the page. Because I changed the settings. All right, let's try it again. So I'm logging the call. So you'll see here now there's a small reveal above end call, and we might, it seems to be working. Maybe we'll have to change that at one point if it's harder to find, but it does seem to be working. I can close the task, I can keep the task open, I can edit the task or not to create the task. So if I can just say here, keep task open, spoke to the decision maker, it's going to create a task. We will create a task that is open. Okay, so I think I covered everything we need to cover. Let me wrap up again here. So we talked about the ability that we can do some customization around subject line or not show it, some customization around note box or not show it, some post-call addition options, the ability to look up multiple contacts on a call, to add multiple contacts on a call, and the ability to log a call to opportunity. And I'm on a lead, so it's not available right now. The ability to log a call to a case. And I think that's pretty much it. And then these options here, how exactly I want to end my call and show the call results. And we also talked about some additional options around call results in terms of updating fields. So for example, I can update my lead status, or other fields within Salesforce. And that's it. So thank you for watching the demo. Hopefully it wasn't too long. If you do have any additional questions, please email us at support@fastcall.com.